Section 1. You will hear a female student, Marina, inquiring about arranging storage over the summer holidays. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hi, I understand you do short-term storage for students?
Yes, we do.
Oh, great.
So, how can I help you?
Well, it's nearly the end of term, and I'm going back home for the summer, so I need to move all my belongings out of my house and put them somewhere safe.
The student wants to move out all her belongings, so A has been circled as the answer. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen because you will not hear the recording a second time. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hi, I understand you do short-term storage for students?
Yes, we do.
Oh, great.
So, how can I help you?
Well, it's nearly the end of term, and I'm going back home for the summer, so I need to move all my belongings out of my house and put them somewhere safe.
Yes, well, we can certainly arrange that for you. Can I start by asking you a few general questions before I take your personal details?
Yeah, sure. That's okay.
First of all, how much stuff do you want to store?
I'm not sure. It's...
Okay, is it just books?
Well, it's books, about 60, I guess. Clothes from the wardrobe, winter clothes, some cooking utensils, like a few pots and pans, and, some furniture.
Okay, and what kind of furniture?
There's a sofa, 2 chairs, and a desk. The rest of the furniture belongs to my landlord.
Can you tell me, are there any fragile items at all?
No, I'm taking anything breakable home with me.
We do offer a specialist wrapping and packing service for fragile items.
It's okay. I don't think I'll need that, thank you.
Fine. Well, we could probably fit all your stuff into about 15 boxes, which, with the furniture, should fit into one of our secure storage units.
And how much will that cost?
It sounds as if you only need a small storage unit, so that would be £15 a week, and there's an additional charge of £1 per box, but they'll be delivered to you free.
Fine. That sounds reasonable. Just one thing, though. I'm worried about boxes being lost.
There's no need to worry. When you filled the boxes, they're all put together and wrapped in plastic and put with the furniture in the storage unit, and then you get a barcode with a reference number.
Okay. That sounds fine.
So, when would you like us to pick the stuff up?
Today's Monday. Is Thursday of next week okay? That's June 24th.
Morning or afternoon?
Morning, if possible.
That's fine. And we'll need a date to bring your things back.
Let me think. Ideally, the 27th of August.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Okay, I need to take some personal details. Your name is...
Marina.
Marina. And your surname?
Beach, as in the tree, not the seaside.
So that's Beech.
That's it.
And what's the collection address?
37 Turnpike Road, Vale, and the postcode is NW3OSR.
Postcode NW3OSR.
So you'll collect the filled boxes and the furniture a week on Thursday then?
Yes.
Great. And what about getting the boxes so I can get started on the packing?
Let me see. One of our drivers will be in your area tomorrow afternoon. That's June the 14th, so he can let you have the boxes then.
Great. Any other details you need?
I think that's about it. You can check the provisional booking on our website, and if it's okay with you, make the payment online and we'll take it from there.
I'll do that this afternoon. Do I need a reference number?
Yes, I'll give you that now. Have you got a pen?
Yeah, go ahead.
The booking reference is 726394, I for indigo, K for kilo.
So that's 726394IK.
Yes, and that's all organised then. Any other queries?
No, that's great. Thanks for all your help.
You're very welcome.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You will hear a radio programme about developments at a local centre. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
In the studio today we have Diana Munro, who has come to talk to us about a very successful local venture, the Hope Centre. Diana, can you tell us about how the new centre came about?
Yes, of course. Good morning and thank you for having me here. The centre opened in March, and even though we're only in September, it actually seems like it's been open for much longer. So, where shall I start? Well, we were initially planning just to renovate the centre by doing some painting inside and out, but we were successful in a bid for funding, which we really didn't expect to win. So, in the end, we decided to go for a much more extensive renovation. After the Centre Committee had agreed on the extent of the renovation at their annual general meeting, we hired an architect to design a new centre using the old building as a core.
What changes did you make?
Well, we did 5 things. First of all, we used to have our meetings in a local cafe because we didn't have a room that we could invite people to. But now we've got a very modern room for training that we can also use for meetings. Another thing is that we extended one of the rooms to make a large hall. At first, we had planned to extend it only a little, but we built a hall which is big enough for indoor sports such as indoor football and basketball for young people and adults. The third thing is that we added a new reception area. We used to have only a small windowless office, but we knocked down one of the internal walls, made an open plan office, and added a reception with comfortable seating. Some people had initially wanted to have vending machines selling food and drinks in the reception, but we decided to open a small cafe instead. While the construction was going on, we changed our minds about the use of one of the rooms. We had intended to have one large room with computers, but we decided to have an information centre where people of all ages could come for advice. The information centre has computers, books, leaflets, a phone, and comfortable chairs. We added several small rooms for one-to-one advice sessions and a larger room.
Before you hear the rest of the programme, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Are a lot of people using the centre?
Oh, yes, a lot more than before. Young people especially didn't used to come to the centre as it was old-fashioned. But now we've got a good mix of local people of all ages. I think that is due to the new staff. And previously, we only had a receptionist, a committee and volunteers, but we appointed 3 new staff members. We made Akbar Iqbal the youth worker. He is responsible for all activities and events for young people, and he's very successful already. The under-15 football team won a cup recently. Our centre manager is Maria Tuff. We were thinking of just giving this duty to one of the committee members, but in the end, we advertised for a post and Maria started 6 months ago. She used to work for a national charity, so her experience is very useful. Her main responsibility is the smooth running of the centre. And the other permanent post is a volunteer coordinator, Martin Webb. He brought a lot of expertise from his previous job, where he was helping to get young people into apprenticeships. He organises a team of 10 volunteers of all ages, helping with the wide range of activities at the centre.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 3. Section 3. 2 students, called Mark and Erica, are discussing a work placement. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 24.
Hi, Erica. I haven't seen you for ages. How are things going?
Hi, Mark. Fine, thanks. But I've been really busy with my work placement.
Of course. I forgot you were doing one too. Where is it you're doing it?
The Aztec Commercial Bank in the city. It's a great company to work for. I'm learning a lot and enjoying it too.
That's good to hear. My placement is a bit dull, to be honest. What makes yours so good?
I suppose it's all down to their company working practices. They really look after their workers. The policy document of the bank describes them as an invaluable asset, and quite rightly. They recognize that the success of the business depends on the people that they have working for them. In addition, they say they're dedicated to providing a structured working environment.
And what does that mean exactly?
Well, as far as I understand it, it means that employees are encouraged to take an active and regular role in the day-to-day running of the company. The people I work with are very motivated.
It sounds as if the bank's working practices are very effective. That's why your placement is proving to be enjoyable and rewarding.
It certainly is, and it's good to see the results too. Over the last couple of months, I've been able to see how the working practices that we've been talking about really do work and result in real benefits for the customers and clients of the bank. But enough about me. How's your placement going?
Not as well as yours, unfortunately.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 25 to 30.
So, tell me more about what makes the working practices of the Aztec Bank a success.
Okay, to start off with, generally there's an open door policy, so staff can talk to senior staff whenever they like.
That sounds good.
It is, and we also get regular internal emails, so everyone knows about any updates to systems and procedures in the bank. We have to confirm that we've understood by sending a return email. Then management knows that everyone understands what is going on.
That's a good idea.
Also, we have weekly team meetings, which are a chance to share information and ideas. They're a great opportunity to give and get feedback. They're quite informal, so it's not at all daunting to say what you think. Then there are also monthly motivational meetings, in which your personal involvement in all aspects of the business is encouraged. I must admit it does work. I feel very involved and loyal to the bank.
So, are employees assessed in any way?
Yes, every 3 months, an informal interview with staff is arranged with line managers. And they talk about progress so far and your objectives for the future. I've just had one, and they focus on enhancing your personal development and encourage you to look for opportunities to progress within the company.
I know they have a lot of branches, so you could even go abroad.
Yes, it's possible, but I'm quite happy here. In fact, this branch is a great place to work. It's the kind of job I can see myself having when I finish my course. And another plus is that at the end of every financial year, there's a bonus scheme, which means that the top achievers get a cash payment and 5 extra days holiday in the following year.
That's a really good incentive. Extra time off and money, the ideal combination.
It certainly is. The bank also looks after its employees on a more long-term basis too. And biannually, they've got an official appraisal system, which is a more in-depth look at an individual's achievements and goals.
Well, it all sounds great. I'm tempted to ask you to get me an application form.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a presentation on responsible tourism. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I would like to talk to you about responsible tourism, starting with explaining exactly what it is and moving on to discuss what we can do to be a responsible tourist ourselves. To put it simply, responsible tourism is a different way of travelling. It's all about respecting and benefiting local people and the environment. So everyone involved, tourists, travel operators, governments and local communities are asked to take responsibility for their actions and also for the impact of their actions. It's all about creating better places for people to live in and to visit. In the past, the focus of responsible tourism was the earth. But in 2002, the Cape Town Declaration on Responsible Tourism in Destinations stated that the focus should also include local populations. Responsible tourism should minimise the impact it has on the destination and also have some benefits. To achieve this aim, local people should be involved in decisions and ideally benefit from tourism. For example, in Tanzania, the local Maasai people have a fair say in tourism and also receive some money from the profits which the game reserves make. In a similar way, in parts of Indonesia, where diving is a popular tourist activity, tour operators have played an important role by developing different zones for diving and fishing. In this way, both tourists and local fishermen can benefit. Another important aspect of responsible tourism is that it should aim to conserve the heritage of a country. Mass tourism tends to focus on an all-inclusive experience, where visitors often have no or very limited contact with the local people or environment, often never leaving the holiday complex they are delivered to. In contrast, responsible tourism provides more enjoyable experiences for tourists through connections with local people and their environment, so that visitors can learn about traditions, cultures and customs. In this way, visitors are able to have more real travel experiences. Moving on, how can we ourselves make sure that we are a responsible tourist? Overall, we need to make sure that we minimise the impact of our travel and maximise the benefits of our visit for the local community and environment. So, how can we do this? Well, there are some basic guidelines to follow. Firstly, before we go, we can find out about the destination we're visiting. Read travel articles and guidebooks, and it also helps to learn a bit of the language. The locals will appreciate this. Oh, and also, we need to think carefully about the clothes we pack. We're much more likely to get a warm welcome if we're dressed appropriately. Secondly, when we're there, we need to be friendly and join in with local activities and festivals and try to shop locally and, if possible, not buy imported goods. If a guide is needed, it's better to find a local one as they'll have much more information. And we should also try to use public transport as it's a great way to meet locals and reduce carbon emissions. On the other hand, what we mustn't do is buy products made from endangered species, as it encourages illegal traders, and we should avoid taking stones or things from archaeological sites. If everyone did that, there would be none left. Lastly, when we return home, it can make a huge difference if we give feedback to the tour operator, both on what we really enjoyed and on any improvements that could be made. It is also possible to actively participate in tourism blogs, to remind people to be responsible travellers and share experiences and any tips that we might have on how to be responsible. Well, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the Ielts test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.